the sort of bloke that'll want answers.
Well, you want answers. Paperwork, I don't know.
All right, let's see what it all comes to. Last quarter underway. It certainly added some interest to this game. The Swans through Kennedy. Just take it forward about 3 metres long and 25 metres high. Well, McPhee's collapsed. He's looking for a free. The umpire saying no dice.
Yeah. Again, no Sydney player loose off the back there. So you got
McVeigh's trying to get free.
Yeah.
Hanbury trying to bust through. Pavlich. Kennedy knows how to attract the footy, but it's a Fremantle ball. Hill to a one-on-one. Johnson read it first through the air, but good recovery from Clark to at least make it a 50-50. Main, De Boer, Smith, and another ball up. So Fremantle, as we mentioned, a man down for this last quarter with Duffield not taking any further part just after half-time. Mzungu came flashing through. Hill, lively as ever. Kennedy, if anyone was going to get through, it would have been him, but still plenty of vigour in this game.
With the one-on-ones inside 50 now, boys, all they need to do is boot the ball now the Dockers around the stoppages. Yep. That's all they need to do, because there's no free player down back, so get it out of there as quickly as you can, because Sydney's tackling very well. Just boot to ball and get it in your forward 50. There it is.
And in it goes. De Boer just had a metre or so to be able to turn around and spot Clark up. Good solid defence by Johnson, and Kennedy is the link again with Hanbury as they break to the outer side. Richards tried to sum up what was ahead, but I don't think he worked the numbers too well, because Fremantle with the extra body. Johnson to Pearce, one more give. De Boer can line up from there. Instead he tries to hit the target. I don't know that he was trying to hit that target. I think he was actually going for Pavlich. Well done, De Boer, just full of enthusiasm and effort. And at the moment, they still look full of beans, Fremantle.
Yeah, and if they can kick the first goal, the Dockers, I reckon they're getting very nervous, Sydney. They had this game firmly in their grasp, and I think they just took their foot off the pedal a little bit in that third turn, allowed a couple of easy goals, and then they couldn't stop it when Freo built up some momentum.
Sandlands for Kennedy, Pavlich.
Yeah, we talked in the break, Jace, about a couple of ordinary Sydney efforts, which was un-Sydney-like in that first sort of half. And that really led them back in the game. Now you can sense that the Dockers have got their tails up a bit and they're playing a lot better.
Pavlich, Mzungu, who was one who really finished full of running last week against Geelong when the going was tough. Anthony dragged it under, but just got it out when he needed to. Barlow again. Grundy, Fife, Pearce, better watch out, Goods was coming. And that pressure was telling in the end, out of bounds on the full.
It's almost now that the Sydney staff need to find a way to free that player up, because it worked from well early with Grundy or Richards back. Now with the even numbers back there, it looks a completely different game.
Rowan couldn't quite. Big Sandilands heaves it on the boot. You heard the touch call. Hanbury adapted in excellent fashion as Kennedy charges off and just kicks it into the vacant 50. It's 2-on-1, but they've got the fastest man on wheels. Look at Jenna go. He burned them off with ease. Oh, what a goal.
Well, there's not much more exciting in the game when you watch a foot race like that heading back towards goal. And he had to burn off a couple of them. That is a real strength of his game, Lewis Jetta. And what about the bounce he got? Josh Kennedy, he thought, well, he is the quickest bloke there. If I put it to space, he burns past it. Look at this ball sit up a treat. And then I thought courageous to actually take on the initial tackle. I thought he would have thrown it straight on the boot, but he took him on.
Exhilarating stuff.
And if you're Ibbotson, you just can't let Jetta get
How do you feel when he gets goal side? Well, at some stage it's going to happen and you just think, well, there's nothing I can do now.
No, exactly right. Well, you can't, because he's just too quick.
He was going, and he was gone. And a sick feeling, I think.
Well, he ran away from Ibbotson, and then he also ran past Michael Johnson, who was flat stick. He gave him 5 metres head start and just clearly beat them over the best part of a 50 or 60 metre run.
And it was a good by Joey Kennedy to identify who that player was.
Yep.
He actually just lobbed it out in front of Jetta.
Oh, he comes hard. Jack suddenly, they've got their mojo back again. McGlynn runs in, and it looked ugly, but it's a delightful result. Or was it touched?
Oh, we might have a replay here.
It certainly slewed, didn't it?
I don't think you're ever going to get a clear touch on the boot here unless it's a massive deflection. It's going to be so hard to tell if it tipped a finger.
Yeah, you're right.
Adam McPhee was adamant that he touched it.
And then look, Pickett, he may well have, and it's got to be clear that he touched it. And I don't know how you're going to pick this up.
No, it's got to be the umpire's call, doesn't it? I don't know how you could possibly. Oh, gee whiz.
So we think it's a goal,
they can overrule the decision based on
right?
no,
Yes, okay, let's make sure we're clear on
I
that.
don't think so. Unless you get one here.
Review completed.
Top of the screen.
Video, vision inconclusive, umpire's call.
Touched it that actually don't, and I'm not saying that, but this will end up an umpire's call.
All clear. We thought it was a goal, all clear.
And there you go. The margin is 29. There's every reason to smile if you're a Sydney fan.
Yeah, look, there's no margin for error. When you're down 40 points, Jace, at half-time or whatever it was, there's no margin for error. And we see Fremantle completely dominate the game for about 40 minutes, but all it takes is a couple of goals. It was a wobbly old kick from Benny McGlynn. Jeddah's goal, McGlynn's goal. Just, as I said, no margin for error. A couple of quick goals and makes it tough for the Dockers now. And it all goes back to that Lewis Roberts-Thompson tackle, boys, just before three-quarter time. Well, they were looking for a momentum change, and that took the margin out to about 17 points.
Sandlands and Hill and Barlow, Mazunga, they're not giving up yet. Into the 50. Oh, it was easy, and Bradley dropped a put. He did. He followed up well. McVeigh, eventually Kennedy, but Dawson has the opportunity, perhaps. Smith tries to burst through and can't. Kennedy again, tireless effort, and they're out to a 2-on-2. There's a bit of a push and shove going on there. McFarlane paid the mark.
I tell you what, Sam Reid's gone out of the game since he got that that really hard knock just prior to half-time.
To the numbers, and to Clark. Takes an easy mark.
He can reach up to a very high point, Zach Clark. We've seen him take a couple of terrific marks already. And he certainly looks like he's got some game about him. He's had 12 possessions, 7 marks. And this would be his first goal if he can kick it. And they need to answer straight away to keep their hopes alive.
So Clark comes skipping in. It doesn't look like that was the sort of contact he was after. It's a behind.
Yeah, when he puts his arms up in the air for those marks, there's not a lot a defender can do, Joe, because he can't hit the arm anymore. So really, if he keeps launching at him, he's going to take some really good contested marks.
He's 203 centimetres.
Yep.
He really is playing some good footy. He looks like he's really come of age as a player.
Chesky goes for Reid again. And Sandland's got there to spoil Seavey. Bolton jolted out of his hands. Rowan, they're just beating them to the contest at the moment. It was heaved out, well intercepted, well read by Sandlands. They might have to go again here with Barlow, spotting him up. Again by hand, it's really tight stuff though. Johnson wheels the kick into the pocket. Malcheski lets it bounce. Pavlich cleaned him up. High, perhaps. We'll have a look at the tape. Meanwhile, back at the game, Grundy's taken the mark. But Malcheski in the hand of the trainers.
Really noticeable there. He made that contact. Took his eyes off the ball, Matty Pavlich.
Freo can go forward here through Broughton. Dabs the pass. Crowley. Just on the edge. It's a decent old strike. And it's a goal.
Yeah, nice kick.
A marvellous kick from Crowley.
Yeah, that's just given him a little bit of a sniff again, getting him back to within 22 points. But
well, he's holding the shoulder, not the head, isn't he? Let's have a look at Matty Pavlich.
Which is good news for Pavlich.
No, that's on. He ran past the ball, but he didn't hit him in the head. He hit him in the shoulder. And that's the part of the body that Malcheski was holding when he actually got up. So I think he's okay, Matty Pavlich.
So good news on two fronts there for Freo. The goal from Crowley, and it looked like the contact from Pavlich on Malcheski was fine. And the margin back to 22. Let's see if they can rejuvenate themselves one more time, Fremantle. Not this one, because Bolton getting it in quickly. McFarlane with the intercept, juggle.
Oh, a bit nervous there. They just don't seem to get the ascendancy with Sanders in the ruck there. Stu Bolton gets that clearance.
Oh, Pearce took a couple of steps too many. Seaby, not a lot of science about the kick, but it feels for Roberts-Thompson superbly. And onto the left goes Adam Goods. He'll need the bounce. He'll get the bounce.
And he was waving it through.
Yeah. He's an entertainer, Adam Goods. He knew it was a great chance, and he was just directing the ball with his arm once it left the boot, just waving it through, saying, through you go. LRT, he's done some important things. You know, it hasn't been massive from a stats perspective, but he's really contributed at critical times. Look at the left arm here. There it is. Get through. Break left.
Well, the thing about Lewis Roberts-Thompson is he can play as that second ruckman. He can also tackle and chase, as we saw in that third quarter when he ran down McPhee, I think it was. He's got nice hands below his knees. So, look, 11 possessions. There it is. There's a clearance for him. And he has had a solid game.
Ibbotson with a little touch, but Goods could sense another big opportunity. It doesn't turn out that way. Ibbotson comes marching out of defence. Now De Boer. Fremantle trying everything.
Good hands.
Crowley, Bradley's ducked back towards goal, making it difficult for Grundy, who didn't mark it, but he did do well, just to batter it out. Matner, and then Smith, who went to the voice of McVeigh. And the boundary line was always the target.
Well, Nick Malcheski's just gone down to the Swans' room, and we have a look at this incident again. Matty Pavlich has taken his eyes off the ball.
Yeah, it looks bad, but you've got to take into account when you see it from different angles. He hit the high on the shoulder, and when Malcheski gets up, he holds his shoulder,
and
not his head.
And he's gone down holding his shoulder to the Fremantle rooms at the moment. So, sorry, to the Sydney rooms.
Main takes the mark.
Hope he hasn't gone down the Freo room.
He's not going to get much help down there.
He could go and join Paul Duffield. He's been down there since half-time.
Well, if he's gone down the Freo rooms, then Matty Pavlich is in trouble, isn't he? Because he's obviously caught the head, but no, it looked clean. Looked like the shoulder.
So Main on a slight angle here. So the goals have been coming in this last quarter.
Well, certainly the correction from the Dockers has been, since they've had their forwards back in 50, they've had a lot more, looked a lot more dangerous, had a lot more opportunity to score goals.
3 goals to 1 in Sydney's favour in this last term as Main comes in for his 4th of the day, and that's a good return.
And they desperately need now a centre clearance for the Dockers to have any chance. They need Zach Clark's in at the moment. Sandlands is not.
This is the interchange infringement, Rosie. You can see that the umpires are talking, they're conversing. Keep your eye on the background. The man in the green is showing the bit of paper to the interchange steward there. Calls the Sydney interchange steward over, and there is an issue. That's where it happened. It happened on paper, not on the ground.
Well, that was just the remnants of that interchange problem from earlier on, and that's just crazy stuff, isn't it? That cost the goal.
Yep.
They put the wrong player on the list. Back to 22, and Fremantle have time to do something here and still win this game. De Boer, as they work hard to try and get it out of there, the Swans. Some urgency about their play as well. The kick goes out to the wing, and they have control of it. Parker got it back, and Hanbury with the skyscraper of a kick. Goods almost, but not quite. Bolton, Kennedy, what a wonderful, resilient player he's been. This handball didn't do a lot, though. He'll keep on going, Kennedy. No doubt he'll throw his body in and try and get involved again. But Broughton and Dawson and Muzungu beat him to it. Touch, 5, adapted, got Crowley. He's got a man ahead of him. He could have gone short to De Boer. Instead, he goes to a one-on-one, which they effectively lose. It's interesting.
I think he knew he made a mistake too, and he apologised with the hand. You called it well, Harder. He should have used De Boer, who then could have run and made a decision whether to have a shot or hit up a target. But he kicked to a one-on-one, not just a contest, but one about a metre from the boundary.
Well, they're inside their 50 deep. And McVeigh tries to get it out. Roberts-Thompson Margin's still 22 here. Plenty of time if Fremantle can control the game. And time for them to kick 4 goals. Not easy, obviously.
No, this is where they need a set play from Sandilands out to, you know, one of the sneaky half forwards out wide.
He tries to do that,
Yep.
but couldn't get enough connection on it. Hanbury, Reid, instant handball. Ducking the head was Parker. McPhee's done well not to give away a free. Umpire says all up.
He's certainly making an effort. He was throwing the right hand at the ball, showing that he was trying to hand pass at Luke Parker. So I don't think you can see. Watch the right hand here. There he is. Don't know how genuine he is, but he's at least giving the umpire something to hang his hat on.
So Clark goes in the ruck. Sandilands is back in the goal square, which is interesting.
Yeah.
For the moment.
Yeah, just one-on-ones all over the ground now. So whichever team can get the ascendancy at the stoppages generally gets a really good opportunity to score.
Freo 55 hit-outs to 20 for the day. Sandilands 48 hit-outs. He's not in the ruck at the moment. 5. They can get the ball in there, though. He's at every chance to take a mark if they can get it in high enough and into the right spot.
It's really good vision there from that camera behind the stoppage, which shows the forward line of Freo. As you can see it there, look at this. Marty Mattner's trying to sneak off his opponent who's outside 50, just to give a little bit of cover for those defenders. But all Freo really need to do now is try and get it as quickly as they can and kick it as far as they can into the forward line. And I think it's Michael Johnson on Marty Mattner. He needs to move closer to Mattner to make Mattner accountable.
Shaw's able to break. There is nothing at all for him. Totally bereft of any meaningful options, which is why he did what he did.
He's running,
hoping that the barrel would get there. Smith did well.
Smith's got some good pace.
I tell you, that was terrible by Johnson.
Oh,
absolutely disgraceful by Johnson.
This is one that should never have happened.
No.
They've got the numbers now. Reid, and he betwixt
Touch
them
got to
between.
do.
It was touched, as you said.
That was terrible. Michael Johnson made no attempt whatsoever. Let Nick Smith run past him. You look at here. There he goes. Johnson's going for the
He wants the hand pass.
switch ball, gets an easy possession, then he has to go in and tackle.
Quickly, though, Fremantle have got it deep. Johnson of Fremantle, Johnson of Sydney.
Let's get a ping him.
Applying the tackle, and he has pinged him. DeVore underneath all of that.
The Swans just try to control it now for a little bit. Maybe just chip it round. They're trying to do it here. And it's up to the Dockers now to man up as quickly as they possibly can.
We've got to remember as well, as Liam Pickering told us earlier, they're one down on the bench. They've only got 2 interchange players.
Sandilands back in the ruck and ripping down an excellent mark.
So it's a big ask to expect the Dockers to run over the top of them a man short.
23 points remains the difference between the two. Broughton to Bradley, so this is clever ball use. Broughton can overlap again for another little one, but he decides he'll go for territory this time. Go for Anthony, coming flying on a hard lead. Good spoil from Richards and Mattner, who combined together. Barlow not the space he would have liked, and the Swans win the day. It's out of bounds. It's getting critical for Freo now. It's the 2 players they do have left.
They'll be cherished positions, those 2 having a spell in this last term. There's a lot of blokes putting their arm up saying, can I come off and have a quick spell?
Oh, Sandilands went for the wind-up spike, but couldn't make the connection. So well done, Seaby. Hill to Fife. Possession number 27, and they're at full forward. And Pavlich with a mighty leap. Couldn't drag it down. Anthony, he's been close by.
Well done to Hill too, who's responded in the second half, Chase. He had 2 possessions up to half-time, so he's up to 13 now, so he's got involved in the game.
I think he was very happy, though, when Rhys Shaw was released as the run-with player.
McGlynn watching him now. The crowd trying to play their part. Clancy Pearce, likewise for Freo. Room for Grundy.
Needs to be a good kick.
Oh, and it wasn't quite. And Ibbotson takes the mark.
Well, this
makes it interesting again.
Yeah, just a critical shot at goal.
Freo trailing by 23 points. And Garrick Ibbotson started well last week with 22 disposals. He's a terrific athletic player. He's about that age where he can have a big impact.
Right into the breeze there too.
Not a great kick. Main from the side, but Kennedy beats them all.
How does Josh Kennedy take a contested mark when you've got Pavlich, Sandilands and Zach Clark deep down there in the pack? I don't understand that.
He's up to 31 disposals, Kennedy. He's been magnificent today. Yet again for the Swans. He's close to an elite player now of the competition, isn't he?
Yeah, look, absolutely. And just the spread ball, that's probably the uncontested ball now. It's just the one thing. But you look at his possession count, 31 possessions. If he starts taking marks overhead like that, he's just been an exceptional pickup.
10 clearances.
Zungu's short. Clark takes the mark. This will be no easier shot for goal than the last one. In fact, it should be tougher. So big Zach Clark. 21 years of age. Prodigious talent. Kicks it across the face a little. And it's already through. Despite the best efforts of Kepler Bradley. So it might just be a little too late for Fremantle unless they can...
A couple of quick ones, Hunter, they need, don't they? Really?
They do. Missed a couple of really difficult opportunities.
They have shown they can do it.
Yes, they have.
6 goals in 12 minutes. They're capable.
Well, I think they've got their structure right now, Pickers, so if they do get some dominance at the clearances, they can take advantage of it.
Pavlich gathering an opportunity. Bird gives it straight back. On the right, he's not a throw from Hill.
You just wonder what they've got left in their legs, the Dockers.
As you mentioned before, not only was it a tough contest against Geelong last week, but they had Hawthorn in the last of the NAB games, which I think set them up well for the first match, but might be telling now. Hanbury gets to half forward. There's Dawson. So
well, particularly with a couple, one down. They've got 2 on the bench, so that makes it doubly as hard.
Nobody seemed to really want to go for that ball. McPhee seemed a bit uncertain about it all. Hill, Crowley, another opportunity. This time on the run. This time there's no mistake. And they're still coming, Freo.
I'll tell you what, Jason, Sydney don't look like they've got that much run either, do they? Yeah, that one there was just a bomb in, and it was a Docker player, Crowley. You can watch it here.
Zach Dawson's done it again. He's never quite sure who he's kicking it to, but something happens after he kicks it.
I think they know. They read that ugly bounce well, the Dockers boys, but not a lot of run from the Swans as well. So this centre bounce is absolutely critical, but that's a nice finish from Crowley.
Malcheski and McVeigh back on for the Swans.
"16 points the difference." Some anxiety amongst the Sydney crowd. Looking out on the SCG. They've had an excellent day watching their team dominate most of the afternoon, but this late stage, Freo, if anyone seems to have the run, this man has it in his legs. Hill, that's a pumping kick. It's going to go close.
I'll tell you what, he could have run a bit further there.
He could have had a bounce.
He could have had a bounce and had a ping from just on the 50-metre line. But
gee, good leg, though.
It was a great kick.
Good spoil. Nick Smith coming back with the flight of the ball.
So we talked about Freo being tired, but Sydney might just about be out on their legs even more.
Well, the other thing there too,
the complete alternative.
Sydney had to spell a few, and in that centre bounce they had Bird, they had Hanbury, and they had Bolton. So it's not their go-to midfield in the middle of the ground necessarily.
Malcheski knocked it out with the kick. McPhee knocked it back in. Barlow, Pavlich, we know what he did last week deep. And it wasn't a bad kick for Broughton. Good stuff, Malcheski. But they're going to reload again. McPhee with the interesting little mix-up kick. Muzungu, Barlow on his left. Goal square. Bradley's dangerous. Richards.
Falcon. It's a Falcon.
Yes.
A facial Falcon.
And it's a behind.
He's laughing about it, Teddy, too. He knows. He knows he'll be on the highlight tape.
He'll be on your show again.
He will be.
Malcheski with the clearance. Goods. Dawson. Bends it up and down. Kennedy back for Goods again. Dawson out the back. Sandlands, they're winding up. They're in. At the moment, the Sydney side can't do much about it. And they're just kicking behind.
Well, what they did do there is they handled it cleanly when Sydney couldn't. So at critical junctures now, the Dockers are finding something, and Sydney are the ones starting to look a little bit tired.
They just about look like good things again, don't they, Fred?
Have a look at this.
There it is.
A flush on the bonnet, right on the forehead.
That's as good a Falcon as you'll see in a game of football.
My friend. As McVeigh Kicks to half back.
They can't get it
Can't
in
get it
there
out.
attacking half of the ground now, Sydney.
They cannot get it out. It is locked in. It's a gridlock as far as they're concerned. And there goes the kick from Barlow. Over the back. They're doing it just inch by inch, behind by behind. They've got to find a goal kicker for you.
That's a moment that concerns you, though, Rizzy. Why would Lewis Jetta flick the ball back in when it's about to go out for a stoppage? He flicks it back in behind him. The Dockers take it away.
I'll tell you, the coach will be going off their heads in the box for that. There's no question.
5 minutes 30 seems like an eternity now for the Sydney Swans. Parker, McVeigh, all hands on deck. The experienced hands too. Seavey. And this, of course, is also where the loss of Mumford can cost you, because Fremantle can dictate turns here a bit, Brucey, and what they can do with setups. Yeah, look, you wouldn't want to have too many stoppages against Freo. I know Sydney are a very good stoppage team, but deep here with Sandland, Clark, and this is where you can, I was going to say, give away a silly free kick. But right on cue.
Because players are getting tired, so if you're first in, you're very likely to get a free kick.
And they'd love to chip it around. I mean, you're not going to count down 5 minutes of play, but wherever you get an opportunity to slow it down and eat a little bit of clock away, you do.
And this is up to now Freo. They've got a loose back. That loose player's got to push right up the ground. There's no point. I think that's Johnson right back there. There's no point in being there, because all they'll do is chip the ball around. They've got to force. They've got to squeeze up now, Freo.
Short kick to a ruckman, Jason, is always a nervous moment, isn't it, for a supporter?
Particularly when the ruckman goes to his knees.
Yeah, well, Bradley's taken the mark so they can wind again. Freo's fallen over. Play on the call. Deep kick, Main. They're all looking at each other. No one really went for it, except Teddy.
Well, what he did have, he had terrific position on his opponent, Clark. He took front spot away from him, and he denied Clark a run and jump at the footy.
They just all look exhausted now, so...
It's the old hit the boundary for the Swans. Oh, this can't get around him, can't get over him. And that was Sandland's.
Well, the Swans just can't get it out there.
No, they can't.
Defensive half.
Pearce lobs it deep. Clark goes again. Crowley waits down. Good work from Grundy, but he gave it straight up. Mazungu still full of running. Could have been a free. Oh, the Swans. That fine line. They survive again.
And again, Heath Grundy's handball back into the corridor. That's amazing.
And I tell you, who was it fell all over the back of Mazungu?
I reckon he got away with one.
Yeah, I think he might have.
There's Josh Kennedy again involved. He's still, look at Goods. He's 33rd disposal. Takes him to the wing. One more will do it for the Swans. Jack kicks it out on the full.
That's a poor kick. Let's have a look at Mazungu.
Here it is here.
Marty Matten is just all over him.
Oh, yeah.
Turned him around. And then fell on his head. How is that not a free kick?
That's a free kick.
Well,
bad decision, but it makes up for the interchange infringement.
3.5 minutes remaining.
They can just get a quick goal now.
Once a coach, always a coach.
Take away that comfortable margin.
Path cleared for Johnson. He can get it deep. Went somewhere in between, and that was pretty easy for the Swans. And Kennedy,
he's been phenomenal, hasn't he?
33 disposals, 7 marks. 20 contested possessions, 5 inside 50s.
I think he was best on ground against the Giants as well. So this is two best on ground.
Brownlow watch.
Finally, they get a stoppage up on the wing that they can settle and maybe try and set something up. But they haven't. I'd love to know how long it is since they've been in there attacking 50.
We're down to the last 3 minutes. Sandland's tried to heave it forward. Fife stripped of it.
Now this is where Sandlands does need just to belt it out.
Away from the
just hit it as far as he can.
Sydney would be very happy just to concede possession, tackle, and hold the ball in. Just have stoppage after stoppage.
Well, the wrestle was on. He got the tap. He got it down to Crowley, but
don't argue.
Yeah, pushed Goods off. He got one in the
he's going to ping it.
Both holding the ball.
Well, that's a tough one.
That is a tough one.
It's Kennedy again. Goes short to McVeigh. He's up to 35 disposals, Josh Kennedy. He might get it again yet as the Swans chip it around. I think Freo might know they're just about done now with 2 minutes 20.
Only takes one mistake.
One mistake,
Jack into the pocket. There's some tired old boys out there.
Oh, no.
It's the death knell of the game, and you're punching the ball when you can mark it. Look at Ross Lyon again.
That's just awareness.
What is that?
There's no one there.
He can't get a look.
You're laughing, Rouge. There's no pressure on you anymore.
No, that's right, exactly. I know what they're going through. Don't worry about that.
Sandland's a little quick give. Subin's kick goes nowhere. They'll get a free here, though, Fremantle. So they're still alive. They've got to break and spread quickly, and they do.
Not a lot of run.
To Crowley. There's nothing next, though, is there?
Really tired players.
He's kicked to Pav.
Now you've got the extra down there.
Go to the skipper. Hanbury got some high contact.
Yeah, good hands, good safe hands from Hanbury there. Stop that ball.
They had their opportunities.
Ordinary kick.
That was a new kick,
Oh,
wasn't
dropped
it?
it.
Out wide.
Dropped it cold, yeah.
Hill feeds Crowley. Barlow. And again, a misdirected kick.
Yeah.
It's in the 50 and the clock will stop.
But almost at the point now they need a point first, Jones.
Yeah, no, I think
point
you're right.
first.
Yep.
Followed by a couple of goals with a minute 26.
Yeah, it's hard to orchestrate that.
Yeah.
Sandilands again. Thumped it down.
Oh.
Grundy's kick didn't clear the defensive area. Jack. Seconds tick by. Hill to the square. This could be the behind chance. Out of bounds, and there's only just over a minute to go.
Touched on it before, Jason. I'd love to know the inside 50s in the last 10 minutes.
Yep.
But again, that's what happens when you're so far behind at half-time. There's just absolutely no margin for error. The Swans completely dominated the first half of the game.
It was 22-6 for the quarter. Kennedy's kick goes nowhere. Barlow. Oh, across the face. That was probably the last hope.
Well, 22 inside 50s to 6 for a quarter of footy. That is one-sided.
And they've only won the quarter 3-5 to 3-1.
Yep.
Yeah.
And with a man down too.
It's been a gallant effort by the Doggers because they looked as though they were going to get blown out of the water.
Sandilands again. Pavlich again. Finds a path. Well, not. Barlow. Same again for him. 3 and 4 men applying the tackles. The Swans know they're out on their feet, but they're not going to give this up. Johnson takes the mark, tries to keep going. There's absolute urgency now.
This will be 12 to 1 inside 50s in the last 10 minutes, huh?
40 seconds. McFarlane set sail. Can they get a shot? They still might. Roberts Thompson was collected. He's dispossessed.
I'll tell you what, credit to the Swans, though. They have still been desperate.
Yeah,
Even though they haven't been able to get it in, they've held up really, really well. They've tackled well in their defensive 50. Their defenders have stood up.
Love Michael Barlow's performance.
Yeah.
He came on a hint before three-quarter time. He's had 19 possessions in a half of footy.
He won't be a sub again for the year. I know it was only because of his lack of conditioning, but there he is again. Melcheski. And that'll do it for the Swans. 13 seconds to go.
Yeah, good effort by the Swans. They dominated the first half. Freo had a really good patch in the 10 minutes to go in the third quarter and then came back in the last. But Sydney would have been very, very stiff to lose the game.
Aaron Sandilands with 55 hit-outs for the day has given away a free. So Seavey to take it. Chesky has the last kick of the day, and it's a Sydney victory in a strange old match. The Swans get the points, and they win by 13 points with 2 wins under their belt for the year. So 14-10, 94 to 12-9, 81. Plenty of respect out there amongst the two teams.
A lot of tired players too.
Yeah, a lot
of them dragging their feet around.
Josh Kennedy, 36 disposals today, 22 contested possessions, 8 marks, 3 tackles, and here he is.
Josh, congratulations. A great performance personally, but a really hard-fought win.
Yeah. We saw them last week. We know how hard they are, especially on a new coach, Ross Lyon. We know they're going to come out hard, and they took our stoppage coach from us last year, Mark Stone, so we knew they'd have a few tricks up their sleeve as well, so we just wanted a real focus on this ground, just to be really hard and clean, and we worked for the most part of the game and got us over the line.
It certainly did. Hard work with Big Sandlands. He's such a big man, but you guys seem to do pretty well in there.
Yeah, we did. We just tried to, as I said, bring it to ground as much as we can, try and stop him from being able to bash it forward and try and make a contest of it, which, as I said, I think we did for most of the day, which is credit to Siebes, who had to come in late for Monday.
I'll tell you what, it was a lot of tired players out there in the end, and a lot of ball in their forward line in the last quarter.
Yeah, and we, that's what we pride ourselves being able to lock it down like that in tight situations. We were pretty out on our feet. As were they. They had a pretty tough game last week, so we'll take the win.
Well done, mate. Well played.
Thanks a lot, mate. Appreciate it.
He certainly was a star this afternoon. and significant factor in this Sydney Swans win by 13 points, 14-10, 94 to 12-9, 81. So the Swans with 2 wins under their belt, Freo with 1 win and 1 loss as round 2 continues of this AFL season of 2020.